Hola amigos, welcome to Life for Living Well channel. Please subscribe to keep the channel going. You can also check us out by visiting our website on www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Sit down and enjoy the helpful topic for this week. Hey, welcome back to another episode. It's Life for Living Well. My name is Richard. And before we dive in straight to the topic this week, because I realized that for the last two episodes, I overshoot the time schedule for this podcast. So let's dive into it straight away. So we coming to the end of the series. So we've been followed this series for the last 10 weeks, and so this is the last episode for this particular series, so which we call 10 practical resources skills, and we're looking into each of those skills. So in the actual world, you see it as a character. When you meet the people, you thought that that person is an honest person, but he made himself or herself become like that based how he was raised and his own intention to be truthful and sincere with his dealing with others. So it's a skill. So if you can observe that person and you can see what they're doing, and you can say that they probably take a load of responsibility where many people avoid responsibility. You just see it even between the adults when one is indirectly confronting them. Why do you do this? They quickly say it's not my fault, without even taking their time to think and to observe how they feel. They easily wanted to rebuff the responsibility that thrown to them. So let's start. Let's dive into it. So the topic for today is 10 practical resources skills, emotional understanding. So we are looking into emotional understanding. How do we understand our emotion? Why should we understand it? So before I actually start the podcast, I quickly want to say, if you'd like to know one or two things about the community, or you like to follow us, you can check it out on our website or follow us through the Twitter handle. We release the snapshot of the articles every week through the Twitter and the Facebook for the community. And also if you are not familiar with the address of the blog, you can type www.lifeforlivingwell.com. So put everything together and it will take you into this site, and you'll be so surprised how many articles that are being released over the last 2 years onto the blog. And if you have any comment or suggestion that you think will be helpful to the podcast or the blog, you can fill the form and just send it to me. And if you also have some feedback area that need to work more on, just let us know. So let's get started now. As I always open the podcast, I tend to start with the inspirational individual based on their work. So this week is not different from any other week, but the people that I cited their word of wisdom are different from the people that I've cited in the past. So number one person that come to my mind is Anne Frank. What does she say about emotional understanding, or how you can understand your emotion? She said, but feelings cannot be ignored. So no matter how we try to ignore our feeling, evidence shows that it will always come out in another way, and it might come out in a way that is self-destructive. So based on Anne Frank's observation of herself, people around her, and knowledge, she come to conclusion by saying Feelings cannot be ignored, no matter how unjust or ungrateful they seem. So you have to experience it, not run away from it. So the second person that I also would like to throw their word of wisdom before I dive into the podcast is Oscar Wilde. What does he say? I don't want to be at the mercy of my emotions. I want to use them, to enjoy them, and to dominate them. So that takes a lot of work on yourself to get to that level. That is his intention, and he's prepared to work to make it happen. And you can see with the legacy that he left behind, with the work that he's done, generation after him still study Oscar Wilde work. But he himself has been in the position you and I today, but he do the work. So this week you will learn how to understand your emotions. Number 2, the benefit you will derive from understanding your emotions. So let's get into it properly. We have come to the end of this 10 weeks long series with a very important topic this week. In the last episode from the series, emotion is one of the 2 powerful elements that govern human actions. So nobody in this world that able to create or destroy without 2 powerful elements that motivate them. It depends how they use it. Their emotions, and the second one is what I call reason. You can self-destructive by giving a reason why you are killing and destroying another being. You can so self-destructive, like you let what you want, how you want it, to destroy the most important thing in life. And we see it throughout the history where people, tribes, community segregate other group of people based on how they reason about what they think they are. It's really dangerous. But we are human beings, we are capable of doing that. We also see other people that they fail to think about what they feel, and they act only based on what they feel. They feel angry and they will make a statement, you make me feel angry. Nobody can make you feel angry. Anger is already within you. That person will trigger it based on their action or inaction. And the other is what is called reason, which was covered in the past episode of this series. If you like to know more about the reason, you can check it out on our blog. If you want to know impact the reason are when it's used inappropriately, you will find it if you just go through the blog and find one of our articles during the series that we mention how you develop using your cognitive reason. But this week, the question is, how can you understand your emotion? Unmanaged emotion has led people to destructive paths, sabotaging the most important things in their life. In fact, many actions we are going to take in our life will be affected by our emotions, whether we like it or not. So we quickly like to label people that wear their heart on their sleeve, on their sleeves as emotional baggage. All of us are affected one way or the other by emotions. The difference between you and that person is they probably, if you start talking out, people will think you're losing it. But every time everybody talk inside, and because you don't talk out, it doesn't mean that you are different from the one that's talking out. think about it. So even other people, it's so obvious how they can move from 0 to 360 degrees based on what they feel. They feel so hot and they act on based on that. And the other people, they suppress their feelings and it come out in another form, maybe gambling, maybe alcoholism. So all kind of things going on that created or lead them to another way of sabotaging themselves. So unmanaged emotion has led people to destructive paths. What are those destructive paths? It come out in so many different ways. Sabotaging the most important things in their life. In fact, many actions we are going to take in our life, as I said earlier, will be affected by our emotions, whether we like it or not. What you feed more will become your character, which creates a destiny you want or do not want. If what you feed is anger, you attract more anger. If what you feed is hatred, worry, you realize that you just create a tense relationship around yourself. Because all your concentration, all your thought is based on that. And the emotion you generate will also reflect it based on that. So this is why it is important to seek an understanding of your emotions. Research stated a few ways you can understand your emotions. So let's look at it. So there is a research that's done that shows somewhere we can manage to understand what we feel, control it, or manage it. Emotion is a very powerful thing. It's just like a traffic signal. You have green, you have amber light, you have red. So if you go to China, even though you don't speak Mandarin and you're driving and you saw red, because of your understanding what red means in your own country life, you tend to stop. You don't drive through. So we need to be able to build ourselves up to understand what we feel within ourselves and able to put the right word to it. If you feel angry, find out why you're feeling angry. And you have so much expectation of others. Are you uncomfortable with chaos? Perhaps you are uncomfortable with chaos, but the feelings that generate from chaos is what is you reacting with. And any other way you can manage that and change the situation without let your emotion control you. Emotion is a powerful thing. When it serves us, it's a great servant. But when he becomes a master of, it's a terrible master, because we are capable to turn a small hole to a big mountain. We are capable to make. Have you ever thought of so many things that you worry about in your life? 97 or 98 or 99% of it never happens. You worry that I know someone many years ago that when she was in her late 40s, she worried that she would die at 50. So I asked her, why are you so worried about this? Despite the fact that she is a medical professional, so she worried because her own late father passed away at 49, and her dad uncle passed away at 49. So in her mind, she worried that in her family, people pass away. But she gave me two examples. And then I asked her, how old is your mom? And her own sister is already in her middle 50s. And her mom is already in her late 70s. So, but she only focused her thinking and worry only to 2 examples alone, and she magnified the impact that will be in her life. She's now above in her 50s, early 50s now. So that tells you how people thinking, when they use reason inappropriately, they also generate inappropriate emotions. And another person said during the political change in Great Britain about 5 years ago, she was so convinced that it's because she's just arrived to the UK. That's why the whole of millions of people that make a decision to go left or go right were doing it because of her, because every country that she went to, things always change. So when she is open a conversation like this, there's so many thoughts in her thinking. And then after asking her a few questions, she's realized how her own opinion reason is not holding the water. Her opinion is true. As her opinion is her opinion, but is it true? And we have to, what this podcast is trying to demonstrate to us is when we have to choose between opinion and fact, we should always consider to choose fact as priority than opinion. Because opinion is just an opinion, and if it's not have a fact around it, we should try to not push ourselves to ignore the fact, because it's the only truth that will set us free. If you believe that you don't need to make your money, people will always give you money, is it true? Because the reality is not. People can give you the money, but they cannot give you the wealth. You have to create that by yourself. So, research stated a few ways you can understand your emotions. So let's look at them. Few of it will be covered in this article or podcast because of time. So let's dive into it. Number 1, always be aware of your emotional thinking. Many times you can easily fool yourself that you are making a rational decision, but rather you are being influenced by your emotions all the time. Number 2, self-awareness. It is impossible to manage it, reacting to perceived threat, even in a colder or more aggressive way. You automatically thinking like someone is your enemy. What now happen to you is that when you now see them, you have fear. You build fear in you, because love and anger can be together. You can't love somebody and also judging them. It doesn't work that way. If you constantly judge somebody in your mind, what will happen? You continue creating an invisible distance between you and that person, and it's just a matter of time when that distance will come. Another way you can manage your emotion is self-evidence in the way we spend money. So if you want to see the best way you can know how emotion is affecting or see how people spend their money, just observe them for a few days and see how they spend their money or how they did not spend it. If somebody fear that they might not have enough, they might not spend it at all. And if somebody feel like they are feeling so down and they want to feel good about themselves, they might overspend it. And the supermarket have played a lot, or high street shops have used psychology a lot to integrate it to their way they arrange their shops in order to trigger something within you. So 90% of it is driven by your emotions. Either you are seeking to buy someone a favor as a result of fear and lack, instead of dealing with the root cause of the issues. We use money. So I'm coming toward the end of the podcast. I got 3 more minutes to go, and I'm hoping that I will be able to round it up before then. You easily jump to conclusion, likely on black or white thinking. In this stage, you often ignore the gray area by judging others increasingly, and you end up creating unnecessary dramas in all your relationships. If you are that kind of person that you are a drama drawing, you need to, it shows that you are not capable to make a friend with your emotions, with what you feel. If you feel really hot, you also take a hot decision quick. So what other way do you think this may affect your life and relationship? Lastly, on managing emotions, self-compassion, which also serves as a benefit when we manage it better rather than escape from it. Be kind to yourself and others. Number 2, seek therapy, especially one to talk and express what you are feeling with. It will release you and you will feel much lighter. Number 3, diary entries. I particularly like this one. If you are not kind of person like to constantly talk about what you feel, what you experience, use a diary to put it down. It's another powerful tool you can use. Be honest about your emotions. Critically review them when you are ready to do so. So, what about the benefits? So the benefit of emotional understanding are enormous. I can just give you a few of it, and then I will round up the podcast for this week. Number 1, healthy relationships with yourself and others. Number 2, setting emotional boundaries. Create a more peaceful and calm inner world. Number 3, motivation. You'll be able to create and achieve goals easily. And lastly, kindness and compassion will increase because you will be easily put yourself in other people's shoes. You will understand where they're coming from. You will know your strength and your weakness. You will continue working on yourself to the point that you will become all-round human being. You become a pleasant person to be with. I always say there's 2 kinds of people I've met in my life. People that are very pleasant to be with and people that are very tedious to deal with. And you will meet all those tools. And once you work on yourself, you will know which one you appreciate much. And lastly, to bring the whole thing to the end, there are many benefits that are not listed in this podcast. You are encouraged to seek to understand your emotions. I hope you will find it in yourself to continue to develop and work on yourself. So we now bring this series to the end, and thank you for support and follow it through. I realize that we do have some glitch in during this series, that some of the podcasts didn't come out the right way that is supposed to come out, and we're working on getting the right kit so that the production sound more better and the quality for everyone. And thank you for your support, and thank you for sharing this podcast among your friends and shouting out, and may your day goes well, and please stay safe until we meet again next week. Ciao. From everyone here, from Life for Living Well, we say hasta luego, amigos. Thank you for your time this week. May your rest of the week be safe and loving. Please subscribe to our channel to keep it going. And you can find more information on our website by visiting www.lifeforlivingwa.com. Goodbye.